I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Conall Jones of Derrygonnelly Harps ahead of the AIB Ulster GAA Senior Football Championship final on this weekend against Kilcoo. First off, Conall, how much are you looking forward to this match?
Yeah, really looking forward to it, Shane. It's not very often our club's in the Ulster final. Actually, it's the first time. Only the third club, I think, in Fermanagh. So you have to enjoy these occasions because that's what you train for. That's what you turn out every Tuesday, Friday, Sunday for. So you got to enjoy it when it comes around.
Yeah, having watched your semi-final against Clonaireann, you started so well getting those goals on the board, and for a finish, you won by 2 goals. But it seemed for a while, is there going to be a little bit of a sort of a huge comeback from Clonaireann here? Did you get worried at any stage?
Yeah, we were definitely worried, Shane. We got a great start. Kind of gives a good platform. We went down to 14 men, and that kind of, I suppose, changes the whole style of our play. So we had Clonaireann coming at us for about 30 minutes, and there's definitely stages in that 30 minutes where you're getting a bit worried here, and you're thinking if they get another goal, we're really in for it. But thankfully we held on and we were able to pick off a few scores just to keep them paying back as well.
Yeah, and obviously you're looking to become the first Fermanagh team to lift the Seamus McFerrin Cup. Did you feel that you'd get to a final? Do you feel you could have gotten a little bit further down the line earlier, considering how dominant you've been in Fermanagh?
Yeah, at the start of our run, I suppose it's not easy your first year going in Ulster, and I think we are showing that. We got a couple of heavy defeats, but in 2017 we had a good run and we were in the semi-final, which was taken to a replay, and we lost it very narrowly. So we could have pushed on there, and again in 2018-19, we got to another semi-final again, this time against Kilcoo, and we were beat by the better team, but we were close. We were close, so we knew that we weren't far away. And I suppose we put a big push at the start of this year to try and get back to there. And look, we're here now, so it's just up to ourselves to see if we can maybe go one step further.
Yeah, that game a couple of years ago was very tight against Kilcoo, 1-8 to 9 points. So 9 scores each, really lost out by virtue of them scoring a goal. The fact that you pushed them that close before, to me, it would say that you're not going to go in with any sort of inhibitions or inferiority complex, that you're going in feeling that you can win this game.
Yeah, definitely. We I suppose played nearly to the best of our abilities 2 years ago, and we pushed them very tight. But if you look at Kilcoo, they have a very good knack of coming out on the right side of tight games. I think they've been in 10 finals now in a row and down. A lot of them games may be tight, but they always seem to come out on the right end. Maybe we give them a bit of a surprise factor a couple of years ago, but we have to take the positives from it as well. We have to look at that and say, look, we can be, if we play to the best of our potential, we can be this close to them. So it's trying to take as much out of that and bring it into this weekend.
Yeah, for people who don't know, can you explain the size of Derrygonnelly and what it would mean to a parish your size to go and lift this title?
Yeah, I suppose there's about 1,000 people in Derrygonnelly. You know, it's not the biggest town, but we have a fair size of parish. You know, so it will cover nearly Derrygonnelly, Bow, Monaghan, Springfield, and around that area. So the whole parish is kind of coming together, and I suppose you can see this last week kind of what it means to people. There's people talking about going to the game that maybe haven't been to the game in 5-6 years, so it helps connect people within the parish, and the excitement's brilliant. Like, there's a few guys out putting up a few signs on the road. You know, it just adds a bit of banter to the whole thing as well. Like.
Yeah, and often, when clubs go into a provincial campaign and that, there's this kind of feeling of a journey, not just the team, but the parish on a bit of a journey as well. Is that something that you felt like when you've been on these provincial runs?
Yeah, definitely. The longer you're in a group, there's like a bond gathering, and I suppose this year with the passing of Peter Jones too, it has really connected the whole community. So I think, I know the players and the management team and the whole squad are taking that little bit extra to see what we can do for Peter. So I think with everything that's happened, everyone's really buying in, and the community spirit is probably at the highest, or nearly the highest it's ever been.
Yeah, and for people who wouldn't know, like obviously it's a very tragic situation with Peter. Can you sort of give a bit of a rundown of how of the guy, and just, I mean, how tough it was?
Yeah, Peter's actually two sons playing on the current squad, Aaron and Lee, and Nathan was on the squad as well last year. So his three sons are playing, and and a couple of girls and underage as well. So Peter was involved with coaching myself. I'm similar age bracket to son Lee, so I would have had Peter coaching with me underage. He was part of the committee as well. He was just involved in everything that the club has going on. He was just anything that was happening in the club, Peter was involved in it. So everyone about the whole parish community knew Peter. And it was just tragic what happened, and that's why everyone's kind of buying in behind it all now. And in fairness to Martina, she's providing the caramel squares every evening for training now. So I think the boys are loving that as well with a wee cup of tea.
If we could just talk about Fermanagh for a couple of minutes here. You'd stepped away last year, if I'm correct. Has anything changed for 2022? Like Kieran Donnelly's taken over the team.
There's been no talk at the minute. Kieran's kind of let us work away. So there's been very little contact at the minute. So we're just concentrating on Derrygonnelly, and I think both parties are happy with that at the minute.
Yeah. And where do you think Fermanagh are at in a general point? Obviously, Division 3 team are heading into the Division 3 campaign, and Tyrone coming in Ulster. So where do you think the Fermanagh are at?
It's hard to know. Fermanagh would like to be playing in the higher divisions, I suppose. So I suppose the first key factor for Fermanagh is to maybe try and progress in Division 3 and get back up in the Division 2.
Okay. I'll just do a quick Q&A with you then, just questions I ask people all the time, just fun ones more so than anything else. Quickfire as well. Who's your favourite player of all time?
Dermot Conley.
Okay. Who's been your toughest opponent and why?
Hard to know. There's been a few. Let me see. I couldn't pinpoint one. There's been a right few now in the inter-county scene.
Okay, all right. What's the team you most like to beat, club or county?
Like to beat?
Yeah.
Tyrone, doesn't happen too often though.
Your proudest day of playing sport?
Probably winning the first county title with Derrygonnelly.
What's your favourite stadium to play in?
Cannon Park.
Okay. Who's been the biggest influence in your career?
Probably my girlfriend and my parents.
Okay. Best atmosphere you've ever played in?
All-Ireland quarter-final, we played against Dublin. There was a serious cheer now whenever we came out onto the field. And
it was great crack too when Quigley pushed Cluxton over the line, and then the crowd looking up at the screen and the replays. There was pantomime villain stuff that day.
There was good crack after that too in the night out.
Yeah, no doubt. What's been the biggest disappointment of your career?
We lost the county final last year. Was definitely one of them.
Okay. And who's the joker on the panel?
The joker. There's been a few now. Possibly Paul Ward.
Okay. Who's the best trainer?
You
can give it to yourself.
Johnny McGurn.
Okay. And who's the best dressed? This will be followed by the worst dressed.
Best dressed? I'd have to give it to Dennis Green.
Okay. Right. And who's the worst?
Probably Paul Ward again. Yeah.
Which player loves the media attention?
Stephen McGuigan.
Okay. What player from another sport do you admire?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay. And what manager from another sport do you admire?
Manager. Jose Mourinho.
Really? Even the way he's going lately?
Well, you got to give him credit for what he's done.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, appreciate that, Conall, and best luck against Kilcoo in the AIB GAA Ulster final.
Good man.